Okay, welcome to team meeting. Welcome to team meeting, you guys. I'm super excited. Team meeting is one of my favorite events of the week because during team meetings, we all get to come together and just learn a little bit more about the job. We get to grow personally, we get to grow professionally, and we get to grow together and we get to really interact and hang out. So our Colorado Springs and West Denver office, we are going to be tag teaming team meetings from this point forward. So if you don't recognize me or know who I am, I'm Trey McCullough. I'm the district manager of our Colorado Springs office. And everyone on my squad should know Miss Jenna Gong because she was on last week. So me and Jenna are really just going to be tag teaming team meetings from here on out for the foreseeable future. So I just think it's a great opportunity for you guys to, one, meet people in our office, and then also, two, to meet people from our West Denver office as well. Just be able to connect with people all over the state. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get our team meeting popped off. So with that being said, it's spooky themed because it's Halloween was yesterday. So I got some breakout room questions for you guys. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put you guys in a breakout room with you and a partner, or there might be an odd number, so we might have a group of 3. But in your breakout rooms, I want you guys to build rapport and make a friend. And you guys are going to ask them these 3 questions. So 1 is, what is your favorite candy? 2, what's an irrational fear you have just because it's spooky season? Learn the things that you're scared of. I have a really funny one that I'm terrified of these, but you guys are going to learn of this a little bit later. But and then what is your sales goal for the week? So make sure you guys take a picture, take a screenshot of this. I'm going to go ahead and organize our breakout rooms here. So just give me a hot sec to do this. So we'll put Danielle, actually, we'll put Michaela, Sydney, and Tommy in a breakout. And then we will put Sean and Kelsey. Kelsey, you'll come over here and just be on my computer and you'll hop in this breakout room with Sean. No, that's all right. And then Zoe, Kennedy, you guys will be in a breakout room together. And then we'll have Sam, Pax, and Wyatt in a breakout room together. And then Danielle. And Danielle, are you able to go into a breakout room?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, awesome. So I'm also going to switch you guys up here. I'm going to switch you guys up here. Hold up. Wait a minute. So Danielle, you're actually going to go with, you're going to be a part of a group of 3, actually. We're going to move you to the group of 3. We're going to move you to room 3. All right, cool. All right. Everyone should have a partner. Okay, cool. Go ahead and join your guys' breakout rooms, and we'll come back here soon. All right, so I got some announcements for you guys. We got some new products announced. So if you guys want to go ahead and take out a pen, a piece of paper, and be taking some notes, this all should have been in your guys' emails already. But I just want to make sure that you guys got these on lock. So Cutco came out with an exclusive block set. So this is an exclusive block set, which means you can only get it for a limited time, and then we're going to take it away. So you need to sell it now or your customers are never going to be able to buy it again. So the urgency is going to be important on this one. So this set is the Prep to Party set. It's the Prep to Party set. And this set will include 5 pieces. So the first is going to be a 3-inch gourmet prep knife. Or no, sorry, a 3-inch gourmet paring knife. Can't read my own handwriting. A 3-inch gourmet paring knife. So that's going to be the first item. The second item will be a petite carver. And then there will be a petite chef, a cheese knife, and then the super shears. So all of that, all 5 of those items come together in a wood block, and it's the perfect party prep for your customer. So if your customer does a lot of hosting during the holidays, they need this set. They need it. And then next kind of product announcement that we got going on is we have a cookware announcement. So for anyone who buys an accomplished cookware set, So for any customer that buys an accomplished cookware set, they will get a free griddle. And the griddle it gets discontinued, then it comes back, and it gets discontinued and it comes back. So right now it's back. And the only way to get a griddle is by purchasing an accomplished cookware set. So make sure you guys have that on lock and let your customers know that if you do buy some cookware, you get a free griddle with it on the accomplished. And then next is the new sheaths. And I'm kind of excited about these ones because I've been asking for new sheaths. So I'm glad that Cutco got my emails. So the new sheaths, they're going to be 2 new ones. So the first one is going to be for the 2 3/4 inch paring knife. So the 2 3/4 paring knife will have a hard plastic protective sheath. And then we will also be introing, and this one sheath can cover 3 different types of knives. So it's a slicer sheath. It's a slicer sheath. And this sheath can cover the slicer, the petite slicer, along with a salmon knife. So this one will cover a slicer, petite slicer, and a salmon knife. So that one sheath can cover those 3 products. So it's the holidays and Cutco's giving us extra stuff to sell. So make sure that you show these to your guys' customers, because if you don't show it, you won't sell it. So make sure you talk about it, show it. Let's have fun with it. So next on my list of things is knowing what's up for grabs. And I think I'm just going to pass it over to Jenna on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share the slides here. So, what's up for grabs? This is a section I love to cover every week just to kind of remind you of some things you can work for and pace towards, whether that's a campaign goal or whether that's a weekly goal or a monthly goal. I think it's important to be clear on exactly what you're shooting for going into it and to give some of you recognition for your hard work. So just a reminder, the President's Club letter, all you have to do is sell 4K between now and the end of the year to qualify now that we're in November. So by stepping up, I think we have about 8 more weeks left in this year, selling 500 a week on average, even around school, will put you on pace to earn this. And this is a huge resume builder. It's a letter of recommendation from the CEO, Bruce Goodman, endorsing all of your skill sets as a rep. So definitely can't miss this. Make sure you're pacing towards it this fall. And then for those of you who want to take it to the next level around school, we have 3 of you who are pacing towards this right now. We have the All-American Scholarship Race. This is awarded to the top 25 representatives for this fall campaign. It is sales-based, which is great for your customers because tying them into the fact that every purchase can help you earn the scholarship is huge for sales and sales promotion. As a rep, I used to say all the time, like, hey, you don't have to buy anything, but just so you know, I am in this huge scholarship contest, and every sale I get helps me towards hitting my goal. And just remembering too to promote it to your customers on every single appointment, especially for those of you who are in school. Right now, we have a few top students in the nation and our offices here. So we have Pax as the number 68 rep, and Wyatt, you two are neck and neck right now for the fall at number 67 here for the fall campaign. But really what's cool would be helping you to take it to the next level. I was looking at it earlier, and I think it's only like a 5K jump between where you're at and really being able to push it into the standings there. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And then we have Braden, who's on a demo right now trying to sell an ultimate set. I let him slide because he felt like he could get the big sale, but he's the number 3 student right now for the All-American, so already in the runnings. And would love to see him take it to that number 1 spot there. But great job, you guys, on where you're pacing for the All-American Scholarship Race. It's really impressive to see what you've done this fall. But with how many weeks we have ahead of us, it's definitely time to put the pedal to the metal and see what we can do take it to the next level here. And then, oh, I don't know why the animation was off. I should check on that later. But another thing I want to talk about is Consistency Club. We just saw Braden win a 4-pack of steak knives last week for hitting 5 weeks in a row over 3K. Think about for you, what would you like to see with your own consistency? 5 weeks in a row with any order at all will get you $50 in Cutco credit towards anything that you want. 5 weeks in a row over 1K can get you engraved super shears. 10 weeks in a row over 1K gets you an engraved Cutco K-bar. If you don't have a K-bar yet, this is phenomenal. I would definitely work to try to get one of these. 10 weeks or 5 weeks in a row over 3K gets you an engraved 4-pack of steak knives. And then 10 weeks in a row, check this, over 3K gets you an engraved homemaker set. So if you don't already have one, you'll gain one. If you already have one, you can gift it, use it, resell it for cash. I've won homemaker sets in the past, resold it for cash right there. So that's a fun 100% commission on an order. But those are some options for you there. Right now, we have Braden at 7 weeks in a row over 1K, trying to push over that on his next appointment here to 8 weeks in a row. But I do know all of you are very capable of this. If you want to put the pedal to the metal, obviously talk to Trey or I. We can tell you exactly what it takes to get there. And then we had some people working hard last week and for the year. We have top reps for the year so far, just to go over. Trey, do you want to do your reps? I'll do my reps, just so you can give them your peeps a little recognition. Oh, you're on mute, Trey.
All right, cool. At number 10, you think with being on Zoom, as long as I know when I'm muted and when I'm not muted. So at number 10, I got Mr. Miguel Ortiz at 6,293. One clap for Miguel on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Miss Tommy Smart. Tommy, wave to the crowd. Just let everyone know where you are. Awesome. Tommy is at 6,515. So one clap for Tommy on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Miss Michaela Gale. Michaela, raise your hand so people know who you are. Awesome. That's Michaela. She's at 7,921. So close to 10K. Just hit it already. One clap for her on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Cypress Woodley at 8,492. So one clap for Cypress on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Miss Zoe Cantrell at 9,335, tiptoeing her way to 10K. But super proud of you. One clap for Zoe on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Zoe, you could sneeze and get there this week. You're so close.
I'm so close.
And then we got Wyatt.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was like so ready for you to be rolling. I was like, oh, yeah, I was waiting for you to read the next one. Wyatt, great job hitting 10K this past week, taking down the number 5 spot for the year so far at 10,665. So we'll give Wyatt a clap on 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then we got Miss Emma Snyder from Colorado Springs at 12,817. One clap for Emma on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Mr. Pax Huckstep at 23,309. So one clap for Pax on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Miss Savannah Franzoy at 28,411. One clap for Savannah on 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then we got Braden Green taking down the number 1 spot at 34,645. We'll give him a clap on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Love it.
And then getting on the board last week with an order, what I think is really important is having no goose eggs, having apps, no zeros on the report. And it's focusing on every week, making sure that regardless of how chaotic it is, how much you have around school, other obligations, family, life, that no matter what, you're striving to get at least one sale on the board every week. I think it's a part of keeping the ball rolling, not losing the momentum, and being able to say, like, you know, hey, I really at least put my best foot forward for the week there. So we got Tommy with an order on the board, 25 CPI. I'm sure that was a cutting board sale right there, but still working hard for it. Some of those small sales are the hardest sales. So I'll give you a clap on 3 there. 1, 2, 3. And
Awesome.
Then we got Zoe with an order on the board as well, 278 CPO. We'll give Zoe a clap on 3 there. 1, 2, 3. And then we got Michaela on the board as well, too, at 202 for the week. We'll give her a clap on 3. 1, 2, 3. And then Pax on the board at 330 for the week. So we'll give him a clap on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. And I just want to say I'm so proud of these guys because every single one of them is one of our assistant managers on our team. And on our assistant manager staff, we've been talking about just some standards and expectations. So in our Colorado Springs office, we're going to be disciplined, have integrity, be punctual and show up to events on time and make sales. And so I'm just super proud of you guys because literally every single one of you guys got a sale on the board this week. So I'm super excited, super proud of y'all. So special shout out to my assistant manager squad and crew.
Awesome job. Awesome job, you guys. Way to lead on the front end. Trey, do you want to do this one?
Yeah, and then we got Miss Danielle Austin, who's on the call today at 5:56 CPO. So one clap for Danielle on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Miss Sam Durham. She just joined on her computer. So Sam, nice to see you again. So congratulations on 685. So close to that $1,000 for the week. So one clap for Sam on 3, 1, 2, 3. And then we got Wyatt at 718 for the week. Wyatt, give everyone a little wave, let everyone know where you are. Awesome. So we got Wyatt on the board coming off a $10,000 fast start, and he's making 30% of that 718 as a college athlete as well, wrestling at the School of Mines. So, hey, dude, proud of you. I know the grind of being a college athlete and doing this job, it's not easy. So very proud of you, my man. Jenna is talking about you nonstop all the time, 24/7. So keep doing what you're doing, my man. One clap for Wyatt on 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then great job, you guys. And then getting on the board at over 2,000 for the week. Last week, we had Braden at 2206. So we'll give him a clap on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. And then next, we got some promotions in the house. I'm just excited about. So we have a special promotion. So click the next slide.
The little bats were trying to fly in.
So we got a promotion in the house today. So Kelsey, if you want to go ahead and come up to the front for me real quick. So Kelsey just hit her $3,000 promotion. She just finished her fast start. So a little 3K for your fast start. So you're like in front of the door so everyone can see you. So this is Kelsey. So she just started with us. And a tradition that I'm kind of bringing back into our Colorado Springs squad is getting your promotion pin. So this is like a little vector pin. You get one of these pins once you hit a certain sales goal on a certain sales mark. And yesterday, she actually hit her first and second promotion in the same demo. She sold an ultimate set with a ton of gifts and a ton of accessories on top of it. So when you hit your first promotion, you get the little silver. And then when you hit your 3K promo, you get a little white pin. And then every single time you go up a percentage level, you get a new pin, which is pretty cool. So I know my assistant manager squad, you guys have collected a ton of pins and have all of these on lock. But Kelsey, congratulations on hitting your first 2 promotions and gaining your first 2 pins. And now you're officially making 20% of everything that you sell. Cool. So a round of applause for Kelsey. All right. Take your planners out. Got a lot of stuff to tell you guys. So with that being said, this week, for my Colorado Springs squad, for my West Denver squad, this isn't going to pertain to you so much, but for my Colorado Springs squad, I am going to be out of town this weekend. We're going to Olean, New York. We're going to the Cutco factory. So we're actually going to see where the knives are being made. And then we're going to learn about some management opportunities. And so all of my assistant managers, along with me, are leaving from Thursday. So we leave tomorrow. So from tomorrow all the way up until Monday, I will be out of town. So there's no guarantee that I can really be accessible as I normally am. So just make sure you have a conscious awareness of that as well. So Jen, if you want to go ahead and go next slide. So with that being said, we will still keep Monday's phone jam going on from 12 to 2 with me. Zoe, every Tuesday, will be running a meeting another phone jam from 3 to 4. She posts that in the group me as well. So for my West Denver squad, I'll throw that in your guys' group me as well. And then you guys know every Wednesday we have team meeting from 6 to 8, where we also get to do a little bit of a phone jam. But the only thing that has changed with the phone jams this week is our Friday and Saturday phone jam. I will not be running just because I will be out of town. So just make sure you guys have a hyper awareness and representing while I'm gone. In my assistant manager squad, we talk about integrity. What is integrity? It's doing the right thing when no one's looking. So make sure that this weekend, while I'm gone and while I'm not like perching over your shoulders, make sure you guys are still getting demos booked, still making phone calls, and still representing our office, because we're going after big things. We're going after silver cups. We're going after championships. So let's make sure that we stay on top of our momentum as well. And then Jenna, do you want to explain key staff?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Tuesdays from now on, we are going to be doing a higher level rep development meeting. And this is going to be to cover more advanced skill sets and topics than we would at a team meeting. So this is going to be advanced closing strategies, advanced objection handling, learning how to really be able to sit down and sell flatware and cookware and feel great with it. This is learning how to develop into a Cutco sales professional, maybe even make a transition into show team eventually. But it's going to be a meeting that's power packed for reps that are looking and have already performed at a high level. It will be on Tuesdays, and it's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. And this is a really great time, I think, for everybody who is performing at a high level to be able to get together and bond together as well, too. When I think about, for me, when I was a new rep, when I joined my key staff, it was really where I started to see the most sales success for myself. And regardless if I was already an assistant manager or not, the key staff meeting was something that made a huge difference for me with personal sales. For all of us on this call, personal sales is bread and butter, right? It's going to be what pays the most. So taking that time to develop the skills necessary to perform at a high level is important. This is a job where you want to work smart, not necessarily hard. So if you can do 5 demos throughout the week, but sell 3K, right? It's a lot better than doing 10 demos throughout the week and selling 1K. So it's about taking your skill sets to the next level so you can perform at a consistent high rate. So if you're interested in doing that, that's going to be starting this upcoming Tuesday at 5 on Zoom. To get invited for my office, Trey, it might be different for yours, but for my office, you need to be at least at 3K in sales to be invited to the meeting. And for my office, you need to be over 6K in sales to be officially considered a member and have attended 3 consistent meetings in a row. So 3K to get the invite, and then 3 consistent meetings, 6K in sales to become an official member there. But Trey, I don't know if you have any different standards for your office for it, or
My standards will be your standards. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it easy.
Awesome. But that's the key staff. Would love to have you to be joining there. If you are over 3K in sales, you are officially invited to the key staff on Tuesday from 5 to 7.
Cool. And that will be on my Zoom as well. I'm going to be running advanced trainings during that time. So you guys are going to stop, say hi to the training class, and then you guys are going to go into a breakout room with Jenna, and you guys are going to rock then and rock there. So it's the same Zoom that we're using right now. So no special links or anything like that. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to kick today off. Are we doing phone jam right now, or Jenna, do you want to do your message?
I'm going to do mine on rec development. So we'll do that after the phone jam.
Okay, gorgeous. So with that being said, with our new structure of our team meeting, we're going to do phone jam. And then the last 30 minutes, me and Jenna are going to give you guys a teaching topic. So make sure you guys stay on the entire time so you guys can get your value and get the teaching topics for today. So with that being said, everyone go ahead and pull out your phones, pull out your scripts, pull up your calendars. We're going to be diving into a phone jam. So the goal of this phone jam is to make 30 calls in this next hour. Make 30 phone calls in the next hour. And if we have a 10-to-1 ratio, everyone here will get at least 3 demos booked. So make sure that you guys stay focused. If someone doesn't answer, is that okay? Yeah. What do you do when someone doesn't answer?
Egg their house.
Call the next person. Call the next person. Don't give Michaela any ideas. She's like,
send them a glitter bomb.
So with that being said, guys, we're going after big goals. I know the West Denver office, you guys are going after big goals. Our Colorado Springs office, we're trying to have the comeback of the century right now. So let's make sure that we are being intentional, booking demos, making sales, going after that championship, being a part of a championship winning team. This is what winners do. Winners sit down, they do the nitty-gritty stuff that not everyone else wants to do. That's what makes our offices different than the rest of the companies. We do the things that other people don't want to do, and we do it at such a high level. It's crazy. And that's why we win championships. So with that being said, every single call you guys make matters. Every single demo you book matters. And last of all, if someone hasn't told you this yet today, you guys freaking matter. You guys matter to me. You guys matter to Jenna. You guys matter to our entire squad. So with that being said, let's go ahead and make some phone calls. We're going to wrap up probably right around 7:30-ish. We're going to wrap up right at 7:30. So we have 50 minutes. We have 50 minutes to make phone calls. This is a great time to build your names list, make phone calls, book demos, and really just get under the nitty gritty stuff. So with all that being said, I'm counting us down from 3. When I get to 1, I want everyone to press dial, right? So 3, make sure you guys have a smile on your face. You want to smile while you dial. 2, make sure you guys get your phoning voices ready. Me, blah, 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 blah. All right, perfect. 1, let me know when you guys book a demo, and let's make that money. All right, your guys' next speaker is going to be Miss Jenna Gahn. She's going to be teaching you guys how to master and really just handle your recommendations and referrals. So let's go ahead and give a big round of applause to Miss Jenna Gahn.
Thanks, Trey. Okay, so a couple of things. I really wanted to dive in on how to manage your referral business in the best way possible. I'm sure everyone in this call is at a little bit of a different place in their business. So whether you're brand new and just started in training this past week, or maybe you've been around for a while, you've hit several promotions, you've been calling recs for a long time, I do believe you're going to get a lot of value on just the mindset of managing your referral business the right way, and exactly some steps you can take leaving this meeting to really get yourself set up the right way when it comes to recs and referrals. And a couple of things I want before we start to dive in, I want you to ask yourself some questions, and whether you write the answer down or whether you're just making a mental note, I do think that these are some important questions to ask yourself. And the first thing is, I just want you to maybe jot down some notes what is your mindset on the rec business? And everybody's going to be a little different. Everybody's going to have a different mindset, different belief, different emotion behind it. And now I want you to think about, in your perfect world, what could a rec business be? So just based upon your understanding of Cutco, your knowledge of referrals, in the perfect world, what would an ideal rec basis be? So this is going to be different for each of you, just depending on your values and what you're looking to create in your business. And now I want you to write down what you think is holding you back from where your current mindset is on recs to your ideal. And if your ideal is like, I want $1 million customers, right? I mean, I'm not saying you can't. I worked my business to where I saw $1 million homes on a consistent basis. You can absolutely do the same for you. So it's always something holding you back. Your ideal is possible. So start to think about it from where you are to where you want to be. What would be the biggest jump you would need to make to get there? And we're going to come back and answer these questions at the end of my talk. But I do just want to go ahead and have us start to get a baseline of where we're at going into this. So hopefully you can see where maybe there's some changes, some things that you might be were not even thinking before going into this talk. When I was a new rep and I was starting to transition into referrals, my mindset on it was excited but nervous. And up until the point before I had called my referrals, I hadn't really managed the business super well. So I had maybe not qualified leads, right? I hadn't had everyone get a text message. I, a lot of times, just didn't even know anything. I got names and numbers on a sheet of paper. I didn't even have an app at the time. And it was just, for me, I didn't know what I didn't know, right? I didn't know that there was a lot better ways to manage it. I didn't know what was possible. And my goal is to help each of you be thinking in a way where going into this week, you're really no longer considering sales your main business line, but the referrals as your main business line, because I'm sure you've heard it before, but when you learn to treat your referrals like a CEO, the sales are a byproduct of that rec basis, and you'll get sales every time. So a couple of things, right? When I was a new rep and I started making that transition onto referrals, I really wasn't quite sure what I was doing. I went into a sales competition. I had a ton of recs. I booked up as many as I could using the phone script my manager gave me, got more recs, and that was about the extent of my business. I sold quite a bit for that contest. I sold about 14K for that contest, but it wasn't a well-managed process behind the scenes. And I went to a conference. So a lot of you are going to Olean this week. So hopefully you can meet some high-level reps there, much higher than you. I met Aaron Luden. He's about 2 million in personal sales at that conference. And I just asked for a little bit of some guidance, some mentorship, and Aaron took me under his wing. And what he taught me that day is exactly what I'm going to teach you. And I want you to write down, I want you to start to treat your recs like the way you would treat money. And I want you to start to think about your referrals less in a way where you're just collecting names and numbers, but I want you to start to think about them in a way where we're managing them like we would manage our money, like we would manage cash flow. Because when you start to think about how am I managing my referrals compared to how I manage money, you're going to see a big difference in your mindset and the way that your business flows. So a couple of things I want you to think about right now. If you were to manage your finances, for a lot of you, having a baseline financial management is going to come, and this is a very baseline. This is going to come from having a checking account and a savings account. And for the purpose of recs, we're going to leave it that simple and just managing it between a checking account and a savings account. So when it comes to recs, a couple of things. When you're new, if you think about it in terms of names and numbers, right? Well, you're technically cash heavy. You start with an initial list, which is essentially every person you've ever met up until this point in your career. Or in your life, and every person over 30 is someone you could potentially do an appointment with. Now, obviously, we don't want to see all of them, but every person you've met over 30 is someone you potentially could see. So technically, those names of all that initial list is our cash, right? When we're brand new, if we were to exchange something for something, right? Like cash for an item, it's the same thing with recs, right? We're exchanging that rec for a demo or a potential sale. So your recs are now your form of currency. And when it comes to starting this job, you're going to have a lot of initial recs, and you initially are just going to put them right into your checking account. And every time you need to book demos, you're swiping the card, right? You're depleting your recs, and you're going to lose more and more and more. Trey, do you mind texting Braden the link to join really quick for the team meeting? And then, so you're going to have those recs there. So it's a heavy cash flow. But as you're starting to work the job, we all know seeing friends and family doesn't last forever. And as you're doing more and more demos, you're depleting that initial cash flow. Well, the nice thing is at that time, you're also receiving recs. So you're exchanging your recs for your numbers for more recs. The best way to run this business is to take all of those new referrals and throw them into savings until you have completely depleted your initial cash flow. And if you haven't heard that yet, I'm going to be just really pound it in. There's no reason anyone on this call should call recs until you've wiped your initial list clean. There shouldn't be anyone left on that initial list there. Every single solitary person you're getting, you should be getting, just adding more and more and more recs into your savings pool. You shouldn't be switching anything from your savings back into your checking at this point. So just depending on where you're at in the business, I would adopt that mindset of, okay, if I have not maximized out that initial list, what do I need to do to maximize that initial list now? And that for everyone could be different. It could be Facebook messages. It could be sitting down with a parent. It could be sitting down with another family member. Everybody's is going to be a little bit different there, but how do you really maximize it? Because the thing is when you maximize that initial list, you're going to get the most amount of referrals. And the longer you wait and you hold off on them, the easier the job is going to get. Now, some of you might have already made that plunge and be calling recs already. And so here's the mindset there. Regardless of where you're at, if you're already on recs, don't call any of your new recs. take the next 2 weeks and just go through all of the recs that you do have, book as many demos as you can, and start to get you those new recs into savings. When it comes to when you want to transfer money from savings back into checking, you really want to wait until your checking is dry before you switch. So what that really it means for you is, okay, so if I have 150 recs in my savings account and I have 20 in my checking account, it can look really tempting to want to take money out of savings and put it in checking, right? Like if you're trying to save money and you got $20 in your checking account, a lot more money in your savings account, you're going to want to switch that money over, but that's not the proper way to save. It's the same thing with running your rec business, right? So you don't want to just switch your recs from your savings to your checking because you're low. What you really want to do is spend all of the money as you can in checking, get as many recs as you can from those list of people, whether it's initial or recs. And then that's when you'll be able to transfer people over to savings now, or from savings to checking. Now, when you're transferring your recs into a call list. So typically I wait till I have 100, and if I have 100 in my savings, right, maybe I have 250, I would take my top 100 and then switch them into checking and let those other 150 sit there until I need more, right? And this is how you'll never run out of numbers, because you're always just saving and hoarding numbers for the right time. And hopefully I didn't lose you with this concept, because I know it can be a lot, but if you can manage your business like this, you'll always have numbers. Now, once you've learned to manage the flow of your numbers, how you're treating them is equally as important. These are some basic steps, but I just think really great reminders, because when I was new, I heard them and I didn't do them all the time. And even as I had experience, sometimes I got away from these basic steps and I wasn't consistently doing them on a regular basis. So a couple of things to think about with your recs too is, when you're calling these leads, in order to remove that cold call feel, you really want to know as much about these leads as you possibly can. So for me, at the end of every demo, once I got all of my leads, I would just say, hey, I don't want to be impolite or rude or catch anybody off guard. The more I know about them, the easier it is for me to connect and to be able to build that relationship. Would you mind just letting me know a little bit more about these people? And here's the information. You might have heard me mention this on calls in the past, but if you've heard it more than once, it just means it's important. I love to use Martz for qualifying. So it's MARTC, Martz. So MARTC. The M stands for if they're married. The A stands for area. And for me, I love to get very specific on area. Everybody pretty much knows what sides of town are richer than other areas. And the more specific you get with areas and what areas you ask for, the easier it is to get into higher quality lead bases. So for me, whenever I was on a demo, I would specifically ask for like the areas of town that I really wanted. There is a great road in my home area called Roscoe Road. It's on the Intercoastal. Every house on that road is worth over $1 million. And so I wanted to get as many demos on that road as I can. So I'd be like, who do you know who lives off Roscoe? Who do you know who lives in Harbor Island? Who do you know who lives in the Plantation? Or who do you know lives in TPC? So asking all of these questions can help you get very specifically into the right neighborhood. Not even just asking for town, but asking specifically for neighborhoods that you want to get into. The answer is always no if you never ask. So you really want to start to work those types of networks there. So that's A. And then the R is going to stand for relation. You'll hear me joke about this a lot, but the last thing you want to do is call someone and then be like, oh yeah, your friend gave me their number. And they're like, friend, that's my daughter, right? You don't want to mess that relationship up. So you want to make sure you have that information before making the call. That way you address people appropriately. And then the T is going to be for time of day. There's nothing worse than making hundreds of calls throughout the day and nobody is picking up. Trust me, I've had terrible days. My worst day, made 300 calls in the day. I only booked 3 demos, right? I was relentless. I wasn't giving up, but it was a headache and a half. So the T is for time of day. Hey, what time of day is best to reach these people at? Their friend is going to know more than you ever would. And it's a lot easier if they give you some clues on when to call them. And then the final one is really the main qualifier for purchasing. This is going to be, do they already own Cutco? And this is the C in it. If they already own Cutco, if they have children, if they like to cook, right? Some people will even do if they like own their own casa. So if you've been seeing a lot of renters primarily, you can start to ask here if they own their own home. So you can start to get into more homeowners, which buy more. So those are just some thoughts there as far as just getting into higher level networks and making sure you're managing it. Last tip is if you're not sending out that 3-way text every time, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. It may feel a little awkward at first if you're not used to it. So my biggest tips are just making sure you're asking for recs before you enter the order into the system. That way, as you're entering in the order, they're also giving you recs. They're preoccupied while you're preoccupied. So it keeps the flow going. And I like to stall, especially if they're giving me a lot of recs. All of a sudden, I become the slowest order writer on the planet, right? So I'm going to take my time, enter in every click real slowly because I want to buy them as much time to give me recs as I can. If you're doing in-home demos, just be the slowest cleaner upper on the planet, right? Really polish every knife before you put it away, but buy yourself that time for getting the recs. So anyways, those are just my thoughts. Trey, I'm going to pass it on over to you, but hopefully that helps you guys with just managing your rec business and being in that mindset of like, hey, this is how you get into the best networks, and always asking those questions. You're managing it well behind the scenes, and then you're consistently keeping them in a flow where you always have people to call. If you're just stacking recs and saving them and then waiting for you to have 100 to transfer over, it's going to feel a lot better than if you're just calling through it sporadically. So just making sure you're managing that process well. But anyways, Trey, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Awesome. All right. Round of applause for Miss Jenna. All right, everyone in the chat box, go ahead and throw a key takeaway, something that you learned, something that you're excited about, something that a key takeaway. Throw a little nugget in there. Let's share the wealth. Let's share the knowledge. Awesome. Tailor your questions to get the most qualified recs. The answer is always no if you never ask. Facts. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Zoe. Always ask what the referral is between you and your customer and their recs. Absolutely. What the relation is. Relation is huge. Buy yourself time when asking for recs. Absolutely. Love it. Keep a savings for recs. Yep. Absolutely. Awesome. You guys are crushing this. Awesome. Glad to know you guys are paying attention. I love it. Cool. So with that being said, if you guys want to go ahead and turn to a brand new page in your guys' notes, this is going to be a little bit more of our personal growth for today. This is going to be our personal growth. So you guys can go ahead and title this in your notes, 10 keys to achieve excellence. These are going to be your 10 keys to achieve excellence. And this is not only Cutco stuff, this is also life stuff. And when you grow as a person, you grow your business. And when you grow as a business, you also need to grow as a person. And the personal growth journey is always to become the best version of yourself. So it's an ongoing process. It'll never really fully get capable because we always have tomorrow, right? We can always be one step better tomorrow. So what I want to go ahead and share with you guys, just my 10 keys, my 10 thoughts on really just how to become the best version of you. So, and this can apply to, like I said, many different things. But key number one is going to be let go of your ego. Let go of your ego. And I have a baller quote for you guys here. And that quote is, we can give up excellence to protect our ego, or we can give up our ego and achieve excellence. We can give up excellence to protect your ego, or we can give up our ego to achieve excellence. So with that being said, there's a difference between having an ego and being confident. Confidence comes through repetition, right? I feel very, very strong in my ability to, let's say, walk upstairs because I've walked upstairs before. But my 2-year-old little baby cousin, she's not very confident walking upstairs because she hasn't done it a whole lot, right? So that's the difference, right? Confidence comes through repetition. So the more you do something, obviously, the better you get at it. Ego comes from a place of insecurity. So key number 2 is you can't be perfect, but you can give perfect effort. You can't be perfect, but you can give perfect effort, right? No one here is perfect. And I say this to my team all the time. I never expect you guys to be perfect. I'm not perfect, but we can give perfect effort. And effort really, to me, the definition of effort is, do you care? Are you going to take that extra mile? Are you going to take that extra step? Are you going to book that extra demo? Are you going to make that extra phone call? Are you going to go above and beyond? Are you going to do your best and give your 100% effort? To me, effort is your level of care. How much do you care? And that is something that is 100% controlled by you. No one outside of you can control your effort. It's not an external factor, it is an internal factor. So with everything that you do, give your perfect effort. Leave it all out. Give your 100%. Give your 100%. This kind of ties into number 3 for me, but number 3 is have a no-brainer work ethic. Have a no-brainer work ethic. Now, what is a no-brainer work ethic? A no-brainer work ethic is you can look at any single person and be like, yeah, they worked their butts off and they got to that point, right? So for example, who here would like to advance throughout the company? Be an assistant manager, be a branch manager, maybe be a district manager one day? Awesome, right? A lot of us raising our hands on that, right? So when we talk about advancement opportunity in any aspect of life, when we want to advance and take that next step, do we have the work ethic to get to that point? Right? So when we go up to Drew and say, hey, Drew, blank and blank wants to be a district manager. Cool. Does this person have district manager work ethic? Do you have division manager work ethic? Do you have assistant manager work ethic? Do you have the work ethic to achieve the things you want to achieve? If you want to be a millionaire by 30, cool. Do you have millionaire by 30 work ethic? Do you have those steps of what it takes to get to those levels? So with that being said, if you don't have that work ethic now and you're not where you want to be, I want you guys to ask yourself this question. Is it a lack of skill or is it a lack of effort? Is it a lack of skill or is it a lack of effort? So for example, I'm not very confident in my ability to, I don't know, ride a horse, for example. Going back to our horse examples. I'm not very confident in my ability to ride a horse. Now, why am I not very confident? Because I've never done it before. I have a very big lack of skill in that area, right? But do you guys think that I could get pretty good at it if I practiced and I did it a whole lot? Yeah, absolutely. So that was a skill-based issue. But right now, the reason why I'm not good at riding horses is because I haven't put any effort towards it. I haven't put any effort towards it. So when you're wanting to get to that next level, what kind of effort are you putting into those things? What kind of effort are you putting in to get to that next level? Number 4 is control what you can control. Control what you can control. Can you guys control whether someone picks up the phone or not? No? So when someone doesn't answer the phone, why would you get upset? That's something that's outside your control. Can you control if someone cancels or reschedules on you? No. Right? It's how we react to those things. So if someone doesn't answer the phone, cool, what should we do? Pick up the phone and call that next person. If someone doesn't show up to your demo, cool, let's do a mini phone jam, book up those demos, get to that next spot. And this is not only a Cutco example, this is also a life example, right? When life hits you, and life will hit you, because life is not easy, everyone has their own trials, everyone has their own tribulations. So when those things happen to you, how are you going to react? Are you going to step back and say, oh, this is something that's outside of my control, but I can't control how I react to this situation? Or are you just going to sit back and just let life happen to you? And these people really bother me. It just irks me so much because they're not Cutco trained. They're not vector trained. Who here knows someone who's always like, oh, the worst things always happen to me. I always have the best or the worst luck. Nothing good ever happens to me. And you're like, dude, shut up. No one cares. Right? So when you start looking at the things that you can control and accepting the things that you can't control, you're going to lose a lot of your anxiety, which is a good thing. And you're going to start really taking control of your life, and you'll have that control because you can control your reaction. Number 5 is when adversity hits, fall up. When adversity hits, fall up. You will never have success without hardship. You will never have success without hardship. How you respond to adversity says more than anything else in this world. When the going gets tough, are you guys going to go or are you guys going to get tough?
I'm gonna go get tough.
There you go. You're going to go get tough. So don't let your adversity in your life, or don't use adversity in your life as an excuse for why you can't, but use your adversity as a reason of why you can. Use your adversity and use those things as a reason of why you can. The word I hate the most in my office is I can't. I don't even think that's in our assistant manager's vocabulary. I've never heard you guys say I can't, because you guys know better. Right? If you have a problem, go find a solution. When adversity hits, how can we overcome it? That's what you guys need to kind of have that mental shift in. And this is not, like I said, in life and in Cutco. Number 6, invest into yourself. Invest into yourself. Guys, is your personal growth, your mind, your body is your greatest asset. Your mind and your body are your greatest asset. I know some of us are in college, some of us are not in college, but for those of you who are not in college or not going to school right now, you guys need to be learning. You guys need to be learning. Our brain gets hungry for knowledge. For our first 18 to 20 something years of our life, we're constantly getting fed new knowledge. We're constantly learning, growing, adapting, changing. And if you just cut that off cold turkey and not learn and grow and adapt anymore, you're going to be taking steps backwards. For my peeps that are in school and for my peeps that are in college, still continue to grow. You're learning the book smarts, but also learn how to be in here, right? Learn habits, healthy habits, financial fitness. Learn those skills and learn those things and invest into yourself and give yourself as many tools to put in your tool belt as possible. You are your number one asset. You're stuck with you. You like it or not, you are stuck with you. It's going to be you and you forever and ever. So might as well become the best version of you. Might as well be someone that you enjoy being around. And my team always makes fun of me for this. They always say Trey loves Trey like Trey loves Trey loves Trey like Kanye loves Kanye. And my team always makes fun of me for it. But that's because I've invested a lot of time into myself. I'm comfortable being by myself. I'm comfortable with my personal growth. I know who I am, and I know who I want to be. So when we talk about investing into yourself, who do you want to be? Now start investing into who you want to be. Become the best version of you. With that being said, we also have a Changing Lives Selling Knives podcast with Dan Casetta. It's on every single platform ever. And this is a really good way to invest into your kind of Cutco personal growth business. And with that being said, there's 3 episodes that I want you guys to listen to. First one is going to be episode number 5. That's going to be with Lloyd Reagan. He's our Southwest region manager. And if you guys haven't heard Lloyd's story, Lloyd is a certified badass. He is a certified badass. And so on Changing Lives Selling Knives podcast number 5, you guys will get to learn a little bit more from Lloyd, our region manager. He has an incredible story, and you're going to be like, dude, I'm going to pick up my sample kit and sell so much. And then episodes number 41. Number 41 is with Drew Frank, our Rocky Mountain division manager. That is a great one to also listen to. And then number 34 is with Angie McDougall. Angie McDougall is a certified badass woman in Vector as well. She's hardcore to the bones. One of my favorite people in Vector. I really look up to her as well. And I've had the opportunity to meet her a couple times too. So those are some of the episodes that I recommend to you guys. Just invest into yourself and learn a little bit more about you. All right, number 7 is learn from the people who have done it before you. Learn from the people who have done it before you. And in Cutco, there's a lot of people who've done this job before you guys. There's a lot of people who've done this job. Learn from the best of the best. Learn from the best of the best. Learn from our mistakes. When I say read your script, it's because when I didn't read my script, I fucked up. Sorry for the recording. Sorry, YouTube. But there's a reason why we say that. Me and Jenna have been in your guys' shoes. We've been in your position. We know what it's like to be a rep. We know what it's like to be an assistant manager. We know what it's like to be a branch manager. We know what it's like to sell at a high level. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. And we are giving you the keys to success. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't. You just need to follow our systems and programs. And that's also a life skill too, is being able to learn from the people who've come before you, right? If you want to be a millionaire by 30, there's a lot of people who've been millionaires by 30. Read their books, learn what they did, and follow in their footsteps. You don't need to come up with a revolutionary idea. You don't need to have this like aha moment. Follow the people that have done it before you. You just got to copy and paste. You just got to follow through. And being able to learn from the people who have more experience from you will only benefit you. Number 8, never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. Never be complacent. Complacency sucks. Average sucks. Nothing pisses me off more than being average. People remember the best of the best, and they remember the worst of the worst. You're like, oh yeah, they were a really bad team. Or like, oh my God, they were such a good team. No one remembers anything in between. And last time I checked, you guys are a bunch of winners, and we don't come in last place. So with that being said, don't be satisfied for anything less than number 1. Try to be the number 1 rep in your office every single week. Try to be number 1 on the phone jam report. Try to be the one that books the most demos. Try to be number 1 on everything that you do. Don't be complacent. Don't be complacent with anything in your life. Shoot for that big house. Shoot for that fancy car. Don't be complacent with your own. Yeah, it's good to smell the roses every once in a while and show gratitude for the things that you do have. But let's get to that next step. Let's get to that next level. Let's level up our lives. Let's level up who we are. I'm not satisfied with who I am as a person. I'm very grateful for who I am as a person, but I think I could be better tomorrow. I think tomorrow brings an opportunity for me to be better. And I think everyone has that opportunity to be better. Number 9 is build healthy habits. Build healthy habits. I know that if I stay up and party and drink till 4 in the morning, I'm probably going to be a little hungover the next day. Probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't do that.
Just once or twice.
Yeah, just once or twice. Not every day, just once or twice. But let's build healthy habits. So what is your guys' diets looking like? What you put in is what you get out, literally and metaphorically, right? Are you guys fast food warriors and spending and wasting all your money on fast food? That's not a healthy habit. That's not a very good financial habit either. What does your guys' sleep schedule look like? What does your sleeping habits look like? What do your guys' water intake habits look like? If you're religious or if you meditate, whatever higher belief you subscribe to, are you practicing that? Are you practicing your religion? Are you practicing your faith? Are you practicing your meditation, your journaling, your whatever it might be? Are you working on becoming that better person? So build the habits that you know are going to be successful. If I know that if I go to bed and I get 8 hours of sleep and I drink a gallon of water and I eat healthy, that the next day I'm going to feel great, why wouldn't I do that every single day? Why wouldn't you guys do that every single day? Right? So build that consistency, build the healthy habits, do the things that you know have led you to success. Do the things that you know that lead to happiness. If hanging out with your fam and hanging out with your friends leads to happiness, cool. You should do that a little bit more. But locking yourself in your room and being on TikTok for 8 hours, if that makes you feel sad and lonely, you probably shouldn't do that. Right? So being able to have the emotional IQ to know what makes you happy, what doesn't make you happy, and to build on those habits, right? It's inputs and outputs. X activity produces X result. So we want to put good habits in to get a good result out. And then number 10, this is one of my favorite ones. I saved it for last, but don't compare yourself to anybody. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Run your race. So racehorses at the Kentucky Derbies, you guys may notice they got the blinders on. They got the blinders on, so the horse can't see who's next to him. Put your blinders on. Who cares who's next to you? Who cares who's ahead of you? Who cares who's right next to you? The only thing that should matter is becoming the best version of yourself and beating who you were yesterday. You guys know what your personal bests are. We've all had a really baller sales week where we've had 2, 3, maybe even a $4,000 sales week before. That's who we should compare ourselves to. That's who we should try to go after. That's who we should try to beat as ourselves. Because if we're beating ourselves and we're leveling up who we are as a person, if we're making more phone calls than we did last week, if we're selling more than we did the previous week, and we do that consistently, think about the compound effect that that might have on you. Think about how that might change you a week from now. If you every single day get 1% better, now you're 7% better than who you were last Wednesday, last Monday, last Tuesday. So the only person you should compare yourself to is you from yesterday. And if you can grow every day, you guys are going to be in a really good spot and you're going to be in a really good position, not only in your mental health, physical health, but also professionally. You're going to do pretty good. If you can make one more call than you did yesterday, shoo, you guys will be in a really good spot. So with that being said, let's become the best versions of ourselves. Let's achieve excellence. Let's go all out. Let's not settle. Let's give our perfect effort. Let's have a phenomenal work ethic and let go of our ego and become the best version of ourselves. So that's everything I got for you guys today for team meeting. I know I went 7 minutes over, but you guys got me on my soapbox and you guys know I like to ramble about stuff like this. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your night. We will be here next Wednesday, same spot, same place, same meeting. With that being said, for my peeps that are going to Olean, make sure you get some good sleep, get to the airport plenty of times early. And for everyone else, let's fucking rock it. Jenna, anything else?
Your flights.
Yeah, definitely don't miss your flights. I'll kick your asses. Cool. Have a great rest of your night, guys. See y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Rude.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. New videos come out every Wednesday for team meeting. Hit that bell notification. And you know what? Let's hit this dirty outro.